Okie dokes, I'm here in Las Vegas, Nevada at the Legend Brands booth for the Nexus show before they let anybody in, so it's nice and quiet. Here with my buddy Dennis Bruders and this big black ominous curtain here. So Dennis.
Welcome everybody. So as everyone knows, the last few years the Legend Brands have been pretty busy in the truck mount world. The acquisition of Prochem, merging that product line into the Legend Brands family of businesses. In the last 2 years, we've redesigned or re-engineered or totally remade machines in terms of every number in our brand, starting with the Sapphire Scientific 370, hot new bezeled look with a carbon fiber look to it, added a couple extra horsepower to it, came out soon after with the Legend GT in the Prochem line, totally redesigned machine, merged the Apex and 570 together into the Apex 570 with a hot carbon fiber look. Introduced a new Peak 500 into the marketplace with a liquid-cooled Kawasaki engine, and now we're really excited to unveil the newest member of the family and what we really think is the pinnacle of all truck mounts. This is a culmination of years of work by Mike Roden. Mike Roden, probably one of the most famous engineers in our industry, starting with the original Bearcat to the Performer series and the Everest series. I think it's safe to say between the Performer and Everest, more money's been made by carpet cleaners with those two models of machine than any other model machine made. So, that being said, we'll introduce the new Everest 870.
Light her up. Wow.
This really is the
Beautiful
combination of sticking with the performance and durability legacy that Prochem built its name on, particularly with the Everest and the Performer series, merging it with the Sapphire Scientific performance engineering components in the 870. This particular unit is a 4-cylinder liquid-cooled Kubota power plant. Walk through the front first and we'll kind of open it up and show it to you guys. First of all, you'll notice new large radiator. This is a 4-core aluminum radiator. It is an industrial grade radiator, going to provide better cooling capacity. Easy for you to clean off. You notice if you get the dust and debris, easy to vacuum off. Control panel. The bezel here is removed with 4 screws for easy access. Solution pump clutch, of course, already pre-wired for an automatic waste pump out. Pigtail on the side of the machine. Transfer pump for if you want to for a fresh water tank. And for you guys that want to have the electric hose reel or put the disco lights in your van, the auxiliary switch with a pigtail. It is, of course, fuel injected, so it's easy for the idle for speed control, idle, low, medium, and high. The unit comes stock with e-idle. You can choose to have e-idle on, e-idle off. E-idle allows you to trigger the wand and drop the RPMs on the engine. Temperature control, we are using our thermal logic temp control that we've used on the Sapphire Scientific proven system. Upholstery, low, high, dual 2. It is target set points of 180 degrees, 200 degrees, 220, and 240 degrees. Of course, all your circuit breakers. Since it is a fuel injected unit, you have a check engine light so that we can plug in and run code checks if needed. And a waste tank full light, so when the waste tank's full, you can look out into your truck and say, uh-oh, time to go legally drain that tank.
So there is no off capability. You just put it on the upholstery and that'll be as low as you can get. There's always going to be some heat.
Yes, you're always in, and I'll explain through the heat exchange system in a second. Of course, your chemical injection system, which we'll talk about the pump on the chemical, you can take and use it to put it into setup and set your metering without triggering the tool.
Is it spraying into the tank at what, 6 or 8 flow or probably
6 flow, I believe it is. Of course, solution pressure. This unit is capable of 2,500 psi of heated water. We are using a regulator that we've used in an industrial application, our roof tech application, a proven regulator. This one performs better at higher pressures. Vacuum gauge, of course, hour meter, and water temperature gauge. You have your chemical check valve, which most people have had a truck mount or one of our truck mounts are familiar with, the solution screen. Your 3 solution hookups.
3 stainless solution hookups.
Yes, 3 stainless solutions. And you will notice that all your valves are stainless on the unit as well. Of course, your lubrication cup for your WD-40 at the end of the day for vacuum lubrication. Bypass valve for cooling the machine down at the end of the day. There is just a simple lock mechanism on that regulator, so if you're cleaning at high pressure, it won't back down on you.
From vibration.
Vibration, correct. Water inlet. Your temperature balance orifice and your orifice screen easily accessible.
Built-in 3-port filter tank.
Yep.
See the filter in there.
This is your exhaust. We are working on an exhaust kit for this as well that'll be out soon. We'll go around to the side of the machine here.
It's all powder coated.
All powder coated.
So there's this new style of chemical pump. Oh, look at that.
Oh, well, that
Nice plug. So air filters, nice and easy to get to.
Of course, your Kubota fuel-injected engine, cast iron block, cast iron head. There is no timing chain. This is a gear-driven, so there is no maintenance to the timing chain or timing belt like the previous Honda unit had.
Which that Hyundai unit is now discontinued, correct?
Yes, that motor was actually discontinued just over a year ago. We bought a large quantity of motors to support sales and support future parts on the Honda unit. That gave us the ability at time to really work on the engineering, test this, and develop this without being in a rush. Using the general pump, which we've had, of course, fabulous luck with. This is capable of 2,500 psi at 5.6 GPM. So yes, you can use it
lot of
for
water.
pressure washing and your hard surface cleaning, and that's heated water as well too. New to this is chemical pump system. Instead of being a diaphragm system, this is actually a spring and piston system, which means we don't have to shut off the water pressure.
Well, that's been a long time coming.
Yeah, so you can actually inject your cleaning solution under high pressure.
Wow.
And it is fully rebuildable too, or serviceable.
Does it need some servicing?
Yes, it will need servicing just like
Yeah.
a pump. You do have your check valves on the outside that will wear over time. There's a piston or a sleeve in there that has got a set of O-rings on it, but it is fully rebuildable. It doesn't have to be fully replaced.
Are these accessories or?
Yeah, these are your pigtails. You'll have your fuel system, for your fuel pump, your shut off, or of course waste tank shut off, waste pump out, accessories, and there's a hose reels, etc. Your engine oil drain, pump oil drain, side glass for the pump is easy to access. Right on the side, you can see your pump oil level.
I like all that room in there.
Yes, it is much more spacious than
on the other side
models.
too. I believe there's a lot.
And you can see here too, Mike, if you look at the angle here, you'll see the all-new aluminum radiator. You can get a peek in here at the size of the core. Of course, when you pull these bezels out, easily pull off, there's easy access to it. I will say, if one of the additions that people will love if they do have to service too, removing this bezel is just 4 screws. These tilt down.
They're on a hinge.
On a hinge, so if you need to access and service any gauges or replace gauges, very simple.
So this cover on the vacuum relief valve, that's something never seen. It's just a simple foam core
it's
there.
just a simple foam core to keep dust and debris out of the vacuum brake assembly. So now the blower.
The blower.
The blower.
The mother of all blowers.
This
that thing.
We've been using this blower on our Sapphire Scientific 870 since for over 5 years now. This particular blower is built to spec for Legend Brands. To give you kind of an idea, when people ask about comparison to the Everest 650, the overall length of this blower is 22 inches in terms of the body size of the blower.
Internals.
The TL410 was a great serviceable blower. The advantages to this are longer lobes, wider lobes, gives us more vacuum capacity. The drive shaft on this is 1.66 inches versus 1.25 inches, so it has a beefier, more robust shaft. It is 5-inch in, 5-inch out on the vacuum. Some of the other things that really geek out on for me is the fact that it uses roller bearings versus ball bearings. Roller bearings are a larger surface area. They're going to dissipate heat and last longer. Other thing is this is helica cut gears versus straight spline type gears. Helica cut gears are going to create a better mesh and have better, longer lasting life on them as well. Another thing you'll notice is both the drive side and the gear side, the oil bath, these are aluminum with fin tubes on them. What that does is it dissipates heat better. Greater dissipation of heat means longer lasting components. Everything about this machine, Kubota engine, blower, pump, heat exchange system, this is designed to be the longest lasting truck mount ever built. Of course, an aluminum frame, so we don't have any of the rusting issues associated with the steel frames. Adjustments for the blower, you can see you pull the blower back with your adjustment bolt, set your canter on it.
What about adjusting the belts? Is there a tension arm, or you're moving?
No, you're moving. Actually, you see the blower is mounted on a frame rail.
So you got adjustments right in there.
Yes.
So that's moving it side to side. Is that how you're going to do your belt adjustment?
Yes.
Oh, so there. What'd you call it? A cantered?
Yeah, well, your canter, so you have two different adjustments. So instead of just pulling the blower where you can pull it and angle it, you can adjust it to where you have a true plumb, put a straight line, a straight edge on your belts, and make sure that you're getting equal pressure on the belts. If possible, you always want to use match belts that are same number.
But you're going to loosen the 4 feet on the other side too?
You're going to take and loosen the 2 bolts here. There's 4 easy access here on the other side. It's on the same system. Loosen those, tighten it, loosen it, depending on it.
Wow. Having just adjusted the belts on my 370, I can tell you that's a fantastic idea.
Using a standard water box.
Sorry.
Using the standard water box, you have your easy access float assembly. Of course, your hot water from the return side off the regulator, bypassing back into their 5-gallon capacity. So only in long time idle situations under high load where you would take and have to bypass any water back to the waste tank, but it's minimal water bypass to the waste tank.
And that's in a high pressure setting?
If you were cleaning, and ideally, guys will set the idle control. This beast has so much vacuum and heat. If you're one guy cleaning residential, you don't need to turn this thing up to dual wand to clean.
No.
You're going to get plenty of cleaning power.
Yeah, that's the same with the existing 650. We barely turn on the heat.
Again, you'll see much more open design.
All kinds of room in there.
This is your exhaust. Everything part of the critical heat system's exhaust system is coated with Cerakote. The ceramic coating treatment reduces heat by up to 30%. Radiant heat. Of course, exhaust. One of those new components we all have to deal with is catalyst on the system, your NOx sensor for it. So that, of course,
that's all in here?
That's all in there.
Wow. But that leads to this being California compliant.
Absolutely, 100% California compliant.
Yeah.
This is for guys who are familiar with the Prochem systems. You used to use the Graham Heliflow, the big Heliflow style heat exchangers, which were large and heavy, weighty, or the Modine, which were a tube and shell. Which this is 100% stainless steel plate heat exchanger, and you can see the plate ribbing on that. What that does is it acts as this very small vessel, acts as a massive heat sink. Water coming in from the machine, the cold water, helps cool the cooling system on the machine while exchanging heat to preheat the water. Before we go into the Sapphire Scientific patented fin tube heat exchanger, stainless steel coiled fin tube heat exchanger. Really, I don't think anyone would argue the best performing, the most durable heat exchanger in the industry. Mike, you have one of the 370.
Yeah, hasn't proven to be. I don't know if you can't say it's freeze proof, but you haven't had one freeze yet. Isn't that the case?
Oh, I'm sure that people have frozen their machines. We have essentially no warranty or no purchase associated with somebody having to replace the fin tube stainless steel coiled heat exchanger. But heat your machines.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean if you're going to put a blanket over it, are you going to cuddle with it and sleep with it? No, keep the van heated.
Yeah, absolutely.
Given that right now, when we're filming this video in the Midwest right now, it's colder than heck. So.
Yeah.
Of course, your filter basket. This on previous Everest models, this was aluminum. We have gone to powder-coated stainless steel. so you're not going to get the electrolysis associated with dissimilar metals. Gives it more rigid so you can bang it out on a garbage can. A little bit larger capacity.
I wouldn't recommend that either, but you can do that.
I'd recommend cleaning your filters because that doesn't always happen.
It's a massive filter. So pretty much the same footprint as the
Pretty much the same footprint.
Everest, but it seems a little smaller than the 870.
Yes, and and I think that the key points are the fuel injected Kubota, bar none, the best industrial engine application we've ever had in our industry. The openness of the design with inside, your ECM, electronic controls, or your brain as they call it, on the fuel injection system, all easy to access, as you saw on the other side. Oil changes, etc. Much more open concept, really clean, open, which means that we're going to cool the components better. This was our CEO and Bill Britters and Mike Roden, our president of engineering. This was their dream to build the longest lasting, most durable, high performance truck mount we've ever brought to market.
Sure appears to be that way. Dennis, who do you think the ideal owner for this unit is?
Well, there's a guy I know that has a business in Santa Cruz that probably would want one.
Yeah, probably.
And no, I think that for the cleaner that is looking for that serious performance machine, multi-wand operators, the guys who do large commercial long runs, and the professional water damage restoration company where extraction really counts. For a restorer, this is going to be a critical machine. But I think that we've seen over the years that what we've done at Legend Brands is develop machines that really match for each cleaner's needs. Starting with from the Rage, the entry-level machine. We have a lot of customers that have 370 in their arsenal and an Everest in their arsenal. We have a lot of customers that have multiple 570s. It really depends on your business model. But I think if you're looking at building out a new van on a Eurovan platform, a Transit or ProMaster platform, where you want to run multiple techs to have no limits on what services you want to offer. Let's face it, hard surface becoming a bigger market every day. We're seeing more polished concrete. Those surfaces going to get grease and grime buildup in restaurant applications where you want to have that heated high pressure to go clean with. So expanding the opportunities for services for cleaners, and I think that everyone should buy one myself, Mike. But
so what's included with the purchase price? Seem you get a wand or two, and
you're getting you'll get the standard 150 feet of vacuum pressure hose.
Will it come with a Prochem wand or a Sapphire wand?
Sapphire wand, and with a glide.
With the glide. Let's see that glide. Ooh, that's a nice one. This right here is key, where it doesn't slide off. It's the best glide in the industry there.
Your standard, fuel pump for the fuel pump assembly for installation. You still have to buy the fuel tap depending on which unit you want. 120-gallon waste tank that's 100-inch shut up. One thing you'll see in our waste tank that is very unique and new to the system as well too, it does have a waste basket inside the waste tank, but now we're going with the pleated filters instead of the screw-on filters. The dual pleated filters, there's two of them in there at the flat filters, so better filtration in the waste tank. We'll be able to go outside here shortly. You can do.
Oh, you got one running today. I forgot.
Yeah, we have
awesome.
We'll have one outside running, so you can hear it running. It is, being a 30-some-year truck mount geek of selling truck mounts, it sounds cool. You're gonna love the throatiness of it. That's really, when you look at the Kubota engine, is beyond just the horsepower that people want to always talk about. What is the horsepower of an engine? Really, if you look and analyze the torque curve on a Kubota engine, that's really where these machines excel, is the durability. The engine Kubota platform is the torque. It doesn't load up, it doesn't slow down, and with that big beast of a blower, you need all the torque you can get.
It is a beast. Well, how much?
$37,600.
$37,600. this truck's going to set a few records, but in reality, you put that in a $35,000 Transit or a ProMaster.
What we decided with this truck was we were not this truck mount. We were not going to, you know, there's theories of building machines to a price point. Yes, we wanted to do it as economically as possible, but there was no skimping on components or engineering.
That's for sure.
Manufacturing of it. The Kubota power plant is, it's the most expensive, best power plant we've ever used in this industry. Obviously, you know, you're looking at a blower that weighs 100 pounds more than the next comparable blower on the market. The component, stainless steel heat exchanger, there's Cerakote on the exhaust, titanium wanders. We did not hold back on this.
No, but you know, you add up what it's going to take and put it in a $35,000 to $40,000 van. You're still coming in at way under 100 on a true dual wand unit.
That's probably going to outlast 4 vans.
Yeah, that's for sure. You know what the weight is?
1,263 or 1,250, I guess, pounds.
So any 1-ton van is going to handle it.
Correct.
Yeah.
We have it. You'll see later. We have it in our transit van outside. It fits surprisingly. It looks in the high top vans. It does not look like a huge beast.
No, I don't think it looks that big. Maybe it's part of the layout and you know how it's broken up on the front versus that big giant grill that some of the other units had.
Ever since with the current heating, our current heat exchange platform and the fuel injection on the Kubota, it really cleans up the interior of the machine. I mean, it is it's a beauty and a beast all in one.
So you kind of taken the best from the 870 and the Everest. So an Everest owner is going to notice increased vacuum and I guess increased heat. It seems like the Everest is hotter than you need it to be.
Everest was a hot machine, but what you're going to see with the thermologic